In this video, we will see how we can create a EC2 instance and also connect to SSH to that EC2 instance. So let's jump right in and see how this can be done. The first thing you have to do is log into your AWS account, then go to EC2. Either you can search here if you are not able to see EC2 option, you can simply click on EC2 here. Make sure you are in the right region. Currently, I'm using Mumbai region, which is closest to me. You can either go with any of the region which suits you fine. Okay. Now we will go to instances. I have no instance running right now. I will click on launch instance. I will name it VM1. OS, I'm continuing with Ubuntu. And I'm continuing with the latest stable version, which is 24.04 right now. Confirm changes. So currently I'm using this free tier eligible instance, which is T3 micro. I will continue with the default for this video. So you can choose here if you want to create a new key or if you have any already existing key which you want to use. So for this video, I will create the new key pair for myself, which is VM. I will say 123. Okay. So this will be the name of this key pair. So I'm able to identify it. So I've saved it. This is a PAM file. You will see by default it's public IP is disabled for me. For your account, it might be, if you're continuing with the default, it might be showing it's enabled. So just make sure you are choosing the right subnet. So for me, because it was on default private 2 subnet, that's why it's showing by default public IP disabled. I will move it to the public 2, which will allow me to have the access public IP directly attached to this instance. Now on the security group part, either you can create a new security group or continue with the existing one. If you want to continue with the existing one, you can click here and search from here. And if you want to create a new one, which I will say VM123 here, and for example, I will add the description here, allowing SSH connection to this to EC2 to EC2. For that purpose, I will be only using that. And from here, you will see when you are choosing the SSH, which is port 22 and it's TCP currently selected, either you can enable access from anywhere. It will allow any IP to have access to this, or either you can specifically identify and add manually your IP. So for this video, I will continue with anywhere and the rest of the settings will be default. If you need larger EBS volume, you can select a greater size for this one. And from here, there are different settings. If you want to give any IAM role for this, so you can simply select it from here. And there are different settings based on the requirements you can add. And if you want to add in any custom script, for example, if you want your instance to have a certain packages or tools installed, so you can add that script here as well. So I will click on launch instance now. That should be able to load this instance. Now, there's another thing that I will try to point out here is when I selected my SSH connection, when I configured my SSH connection at that time, I did it as anywhere, which is slightly secure but not recommended when you will get into like some compliance or something. So at that level, you need SSH restriction on IP level. So first I will show you the advantage of using this, and I will show you why we should be using the like not this setting for the SSH connection. So let's first see what will be the advantage of me using this thing. So if you have this configured, if you have enabled the 000 from from anywhere you are able to access this SSH port, in that case you will be able to use the connection option from here. You will be able to use the EC2 instance connect option. If I go here, I will click on connect. This will load in browser. You can see, as you can see, it's getting loaded in browser. And as you can see, I am able to like log in inside this instance and it's working fine. Right now, what if I disable this thing? So what I will do right now is I will go inside my security group, edit inbound rules, and I will select my IP here. Now I will save changes. What this will do is this will disable this SSH connection using EC2 instance connect. Okay. So if currently, because this thing was connected earlier, if you see, like, I'm not able to access it now because I had restricted it from the, like, from the SSH connections. I restricted it. But your question could be like, why? Because you are on the same IP, why it's not working now? So the reason is because from portal level I'm trying to access it. I'm not accessing it from my IP. So to access it now, because I have added the restriction on IP level, what I can do is I can simply go to this. This is the MOBA Extreme which I use for SSH connection. You can use any SSH connection like PuTTY or normal SSH tool that you want to use. So I will go, for example, in demo, or I will create a new session. Click on SSH. Now I will copy this IP. Now I will specify the by default name for the Ubuntu server is this, and I will create the private key, and I will add this private key which I downloaded at the time when I was creating my EC2 instance. I will click on OK. Now you will see I'm able to connect. So what was the advantage of using this is this security group is now restricted to only using my IP. If like right now my IP changes, I won't be able to connect because I have added restriction on IP level. When you are working in organization, big organization, or any compliance organization which are very strict about their rules, you have to have these IP restrictions on SSH or any other port that you are trying to connect. So I hope you guys find this video helpful, and if you feel like this was really helpful to you, you can consider subscribing. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.